track from Playmaster. Shear is the widest with Ruben.
Happy Festivus to all. Dill?
Is that a word?
Yeah, a little Seinfeld reference, probably before your day.
No, not up my alley.
You'll get there. Dill, thanks for putting the hat on and being in such jovial
Thank you,
spirit.
mate.
Very on brand for you.
My favourite time of the year. Always love late December. So thank you for having me.
47 degrees in your hometown of Mildura today.
Yes, quite warm. Look forward to heading back and soaking up some vitamin D.
Maybe you could take this Betfair merch that we've been given today, which just reflects a big success for the business this year, which was Hong Kong racing. Too hot?
Let's not
Probably
talk
too
about
hot,
might be too
especially
hot
on a day
around
like this. I think
Let's
we
not
need to
talk
be
about
cooling
that.
it down a bit.
Whoopsie. The racing, can't really do too much about it. It's a little bit flat before Boxing Day and New Year's Day and Gold Coast Magic Millions, and then we get right into it. So not the best, but we can still find a bet.
Yeah, I guess we'll start with Ascot. So we've got Terry and Punting Form, as always. Punting Form, again, have had a really, really good year. Done feature race reports for every group race this season, and their ROI,
Sitting just below 4% on the year. Since November, they're at 9.79%. So even in the business end, they're still doing really well.
Yeah, and we get plenty of comments, tweets saying, like despite, if Punting Form, their recommended tip doesn't actually win, the data that they provide in their feature race reports has led them to maybe laying another one or finding another horse in there as well. So they've had a really good year. Feature race report this week for the Ted Van Heemst Stakes.
Yep.
Hopefully I've pronounced that right. Medium confidence bet on Gadding. It's only a small field, 6 horses in the race. They expect Gadding to lead and potentially just go on with it from there.
Love Sugar Shane. Big fan of Punting Form. Best starter in the business. I'm going with Terry, though.
Yeah,
What's Terry on here, Torty?
Terry's been tough to beat over this WA Carnival. He's at 21.92% at Ascot. So he's got some good mail here. He's not going with Punting Form and Getting. He's on Regal Power, 8.5 units there. So that's close to a max bet for him. Max bet's 10 units for Terry. So he's lining up on Regal Power. As Dill said, just the 6 runners in the race, but he sees as Regal Power's clearly the best in there. Won the Railway Stakes and was really impressed in his run in the Kingston Town Classic. Has Willie Pike on board. Rates it at about $1.45. So with the $1.98, $2-ish, where it's currently sitting at Betfair, it's he sees that as great value.
Big overs.
Yeah, he's relying a lot on the Pike factor, I think, here. Just his intelligence, I guess, as a jockey in the small field. So, funny things do happen when there's not many horses in the race. But yeah, like Torty said, to market $1.45 chance when it's currently $2 on the exchange, that's a lot of confidence from Terry.
Team Williams have half the field. Willie on board.
Yeah.
Big difference between the rated price and the market.
Yeah.
Happy to give it. Love Jamie Carr. Normally love any excuse to follow in and with Sugar, but Terry for me.
Yeah.
He's pretty confident, so
Yeah,
I'll be leaning that way as
back
well.
on the Terry bandwagon.
Yeah.
Brizzy, should we jump straight over to Brizzy?
Yep. So another one from Punting Form. They've got one for the Grand Prix Stakes, the Mullins Grand Prix Stakes. They've got a medium confidence bet on Don't Waver. Didn't enjoy a lot of luck last start and reckons it can turn the tables here. So medium confidence bet on Don't Waver for Punting Form.
Beautiful. I think that's enough racing. There's plenty more content on the hub. We've got models. We've got Terry filling out, I think, half the card he's got tips for and some more content. However, Big Bash. We missed last week, gentlemen. It's Big Bash season, which is a monster on the exchange.
It is.
Yeah.
We had an ebook that previewed, which I think is still relevant.
Yeah. You can still, obviously some price movements early on in the season, but still a lot of the bets that they put out for the futures markets are still relevant in that ebook.
Yeah,
and,
previewed all the teams, touched on all the big internationals that are potentially coming across. So I think most people sort of know that maybe A.G. de Villiers is coming across to play for the Heat, or Dale Steyn is coming to play for the Stars, but they're not going to play for the entire tournament. So just does that breakdown there, maybe some potential trading opportunities when some of these players come in, and a couple of lay selections in there as well. They went with the Renegades overall to go back to back, and not a great start last night against the Thunder, but their side is significantly stronger than last year, and I reckon they'll build into the season and be very, very good.
So you get a much bigger price on the Renegades than was tipped in the ebook. Get involved there. You've missed the price on the Thunder because they tipped the Thunder, as did our friend Mr. Matt Barker at 10s, 11s, overs into 7s.
Yeah, a common bet was with their new system, because it's a top 5 final system now. A very common bet we saw was them to make the top 5 at $2.
Yep.
They're off to a fantastic start to get that done. And if Kawaja keeps playing the way he is playing with a bit of confidence, and he's not going to be in the one-day side, they'll be very, very good.
Barker also tipped Kawaja for a top tournament run scorer too.
There you go. Missed that mail, Mac.
11. I thought I sent it around.
Not sure about that one, mate.
Keeps it for the platinum set holders only.
Whoopsie. Sorry, boys.
So we've got a double header today. So the first game, the Hurricanes taking on the Sixers. Interesting game because the Hurricanes, very, very good last year, but two of their best players, Matty Wade and Joffre, are not in the team this year. And the analysts have gone with Josh Phillip to be the top Sydney Sixers batsman at $5. They've moved him up the order. He was sort of playing around 5 or 6 last year. He's now the opener now, and he's absolutely flying. So $5 to be the top batsman there. Looks a good bet.
Cool.
Yeah, later on in the night we've got the Heat and the Stars. So Stars are currently favourites out in the outright market. Heat are up there as well. I think they're 4th favourite at the moment. So should be a good game this one. It's about even money on the exchange at the moment. Heat weren't too flash in their opener. They had the Thunder on the ropes, but they had about 5 for 100, 101, I think it was, and then ended up allowing 172 runs and weren't quite able to chase it down. But the analysts are staying away from the Heat there and going 1 unit bet on the Stars at $1.90, and also a unit on the Heat for the highest 6 over score as well.
Beautiful. And just touching on the Big Bash, this is dangerous. I've pulled a few stats from our analytics team, Mr. Tim Clark, shout out there. Has put some stats on last year's Big Bash, just trying to pull out, the volatility in the market. We see those price movements. You two are big proponents of the worm on our on Twitter. Last year, 48% of the matches saw the favourite change 5 times or more. So those price flux are enormous. In one match between the Strikers and the Sixers last year, the favourite trading in play changed 16 times. So, this is such a ripe opportunity. New Zealanders, bet angel your way, geeks tour your way to success. You can bet online. If you're local, get on the blower, call our excellent team in Darwin, and they'll get you on faster than any operator you speak to. The flux are just enormous.
Yeah, and it's a really good opportunity to potentially just try and trade. There's games every single day. There's games on free-to-air TV, so you don't have to have the Foxtel set up that most of these cricket games are on. And for small stakes, you'd be mad not to give it a try and see what you can do with the fluctuations going that wild.
Beautiful. And we'll just wrap up cricket with the Boxing Day test. What was our tips there, boys?
Yeah, so the first innings to be over 400 runs for Australia. This is a bit of an interesting one, actually. So Australia don't have a great record over the last couple of years at the MCG. So they got smacked up by India last year, and it was a draw the year before that against England. But the analysts are pretty confident that Australia could just pile on the runs and make over 400. I believe Trent Bolt will be back.
Yeah, it's nothing official yet, but it sounds like Trent Bolt will be back in the mix. Lockie Ferguson ruled out for the rest of the series, so you'd assume that'll just be a straight swap there with Southey and Wagner keeping their places.
Yeah, and no Hazelwood as well for Australia. So obviously not a strong batsman, but it's going to be interesting. New Zealand haven't played that badly in the first test. So the analysts are pretty confident that Australia just keep ticking along with the batting.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Sticking locally, NBL boys, two big fans of the NBL. What are our tips there? There's some betting up, I believe.
Yeah, so there's a game tonight. Southeast Melbourne head over to New Zealand. They've got a max bet on Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. New Zealand are in a bit of a mess at the moment. They've let Corey Webster go play in China for the rest of the season. RJ Hampton is still injured. No real clear indication of when he might be back. They've said 4 weeks, but I reckon it'll be a little bit longer. Their intentions are very clear for this season, that they're not really wanting to win the title. And the Phoenix have been quite good as of late, and I expect them to go on the road with the experienced team and get the win.
Max Bet, Mitch Creek.
Yeah,
Max
and
Bet.
he's playing very, very well, Mitch Creek.
John Robertson, let's not forget him.
You sort of hope that Creek stays around for the NBL for the entire season, but I don't think anyone would be upset if an NBA team called and tried to pick him up. He's just playing that well.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, max bet in that first Friday night game, and the analysts also have a max bet later on in the night as the 36ers host the Hawks. So yeah, 2 max bets in a row. It's pretty exciting for the punters out there, but Illawarra have just kind of been in disarray. So they brought in a couple of imports, Darrington Hobson and Billy Preston. Debuted last week, looked the least bit interested. Converted 2 field goals between them with over 20 shot attempts. So dismal performance from the imports. So LaMelo Ball obviously out for at least the rest of the month. The net rating in the 2 games without him is minus 19.8, which is just atrocious.
Shocking.
So analysts are looking to take advantage of this weak Illawarra side and have a max bet on Adelaide minus 8.5.
Ooh. Big line, but just chips in.
Big line, but yeah. Adelaide have been pretty impressive of late. They've won 4 of their last 5. Illawarra won 4 in their last 5. So I think it says it all.
I think the start of the season we saw that the competition was fairly even, but now that we're sort of heading into week 12, we're really starting to see a gap between the top teams and certainly the bottom teams. And New Zealand and Illawarra certainly fit in that gap, and it's going to be tough for them for the rest of the year.
Fair enough, boys. Any more betting? Have we got anything else we're going to throw some, get some cash out?
No, it's sort of like what you said before. I guess like we'll have content on the Betfair Hub all across Christmas. So like we obviously won't have a video for a couple of weeks, but I guess make sure you just keep checking the Betfair Hub. There'll be stuff pretty much every day. There's obviously a Big Bash preview for every single game, so that'll be new content on there as well. All the models will still keep tipping over. Our man Josh Lloyd will still his Boxing Day NBA games. That'll be some good content.
Fun.
So the biggest games of the year, obviously. So there'll be plenty of stuff over, I guess, the next 2 weeks ish.
It's nearly the season of Ace.
Yes. Australian Open is very, very close, which is exciting. So
currently the season of the PDC World Darts Championship as well, which I'm loving. Time zone over here not quite as good as in New Zealand, but yeah, still get to see a couple of games in the morning. Good fun.
So yeah, obviously, just because there's no video for 2 weeks doesn't mean the Betfair Hub shuts down. There's plenty of content over those 2 weeks, so make sure you just keep checking it out every single day.
Well done, boys. Double franchise effort here.
That's a promotion for me, surely.
Very good. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you in a couple of weeks. Cheers.
Thanks.